have a new holder, you and I can play ball!
The Chinese Miracle Box contains countless powers, some strong enough to rival entire armies. The Order of Guardians has always tried to pick the perfect wielders for each Miraculous, only handing out their powers to humankind when they were in danger. There's evidence of the Miraculouses existing throughout history, helping humanity during times of war and strife. Unfortunately, recent years have led to some Miraculouses being lost and falling into the wrong hands, showing the Guardians what they're capable of if used for evil purposes. With this in mind, the Guardians may retire certain Miraculouses for everyone's safety, recognizing that they're entirely dangerous and unfit for continued use, especially with young, untrained wielders. Today's video will discuss which Miraculouses will most likely see early retirement.
It's Adrian, and he doesn't have the mark. It's a good idea. Tiki, Fluff, Kalki, unify!
Number 1. The Butterfly Miraculous. For most of the franchise's history, the Butterfly Miraculous has bent to the will of notorious villains. After Gabriel recovered it during one of his exhibitions, he decided to use its powers to cause chaos and terrorize Paris, believing it would lure more miraculous wielders out of hiding. He used the Miraculous to exploit civilians' negative emotions, turning them into akumatized villains. His activities continued for months and ended after he successfully stole the Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses to make his wish. While Ladybug managed to recover the other Miraculouses from his lair, he managed to keep the Butterfly Miraculous from her grasp, ultimately recovered by Lila, who becomes his predecessor and the new antagonist for the series. Lila also misuses the Miraculous, forcing her Kwami into paralysis until she needs to akumatize villains or attack the heroes with her unique abilities. She also creates chaos, albeit more calculated, in hopes of stealing the Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses. After so long in the hands of evil, once the Butterfly Miraculous is inevitably recovered, the Guardians may prevent Ladybug from finding it a new wielder, believing its transmission power to be too dangerous in mortal hands.
Nuru, dark wings rise.
Number 2. The Peacock Miraculous. While villains currently use the Butterfly Miraculous, the Peacock seems more evil in concept as it gives its wielder the ability to create, control, and destroy sentient beings. In the past, Mayura used the Peacock Miraculous to help Gabriel stand against the heroes, creating various Sentimonsters to fight alongside akumatized villains. However, using the damaged Miraculous left her health in critical condition. Gabriel later unified the Miraculous with his own to become Shadow Moth, which meant he had akumatized villains and Sentimonsters at his disposal for an entire season. Although the Sentimonsters he made were living creatures like any other, they never experienced autonomy or freedom and lost their lives after every encounter with the heroes. Once Ladybug realizes that Sentimonsters can't control their actions, she remarks that the Peacock Miraculous might be the worst if in the wrong hands. As a longtime viewer of the series, I have to agree. There are some serious questions of morality surrounding the Miraculous, which are cleverly discussed through Felix's character and his storylines, which are connected to his relationship with the Peacock Miraculous. Now that he's a Miracular, I doubt he'll misuse the Miraculous. I also anticipate his hesitancy to summon Centibeings, as many of them might struggle to live in modern society. In the end, Felix might request that it be sealed away due to the nature of the Peacock Miraculous and its connection to his livelihood. If the Peacock Miraculous were sealed, it would protect his loved ones like Adrian. Number 3. The Ladybug Miraculous. As Ladybug is the main protagonist in the series, we see a lot of the Ladybug Miraculous. Compared to its counterparts in the Chinese Miracle Box, it has a variety of powers and assets, from summoning lucky charms to fixing broken objects. Used in the right hands, it's an overwhelming force for good, capable of protecting others from harm, like with the magical charms created by Ladybug in Mr. Pigeon 72, and saving those on the brink of death, like Uncanny Valley in Miraculous World, New York. However, like all Miraculouses, the Ladybug Miraculous can do a great deal of harm if it falls into the wrong hands. We witness this for ourselves in Miraculous World Paris, where we meet an alternative version of Marinette, who allowed her harsh upbringing and experiences with bullying to turn her into a villain. As Shadybug, she used the Ladybug Miraculous to create many weapons, ranging from swords to projectiles. She was a dangerous individual who even stole Claw Noir's ring to summon Gimme, hoping to make a wish. With such possible outcomes and one bad wielder away from disaster, the Guardians may put the Ladybug Miraculous under lock and key.
And what's that? It's a magical charm.
Number 4. The Cat Miraculous. Unsurprisingly, the Cat Miraculous found its way onto the list. Plague is the Kwami of destruction, and he's lived up to his namesake throughout history. So far, he's accredited with the destruction of Atlantis and the extinction of the dinosaurs, but we've also witnessed him create sinkholes in the street and topple buildings when necessary. His powers aren't any less dangerous when used by a wielder, although they're supposed to be. Adrian has also caused noteworthy damage during his time as Cat Noir, and it's somewhat troublesome. He summons cataclysms in the heat of battle, only to be thrown in a different direction. When this happens, his hand may touch a building or large object, causing it to fall and create dangerous debris. He was once akumatized in an alternate timeline and used his abilities to fracture the moon, wipe out Paris, and turn the people around him to dust. He has also cataclysmed the Rabbit Miraculous by accident, Uncanny Valley, and Gabriel Agreste. Overall, the Cat Miraculous borders on dangerous at all times and requires extreme caution when used. That alone should encourage the Guardians to think twice about finding another wielder after Adrian.
Cataclysm! Easy, kitty. I'm trying to keep my cool.
Number 5. The Rabbit Miraculous. The Rabbit Miraculous is one of a kind. Most would argue that it's the most powerful in the Chinese Miracle Box, as it allows the wielder to travel throughout time, giving them complete access to the past, present, and future. However, the Rabbit Miraculous has many rules its wielder and Kwami must follow to prevent the timeline from breaking or sprouting alternative routes. Bunnix has spent considerable time away from home to keep her Miraculous safe. She also spends time in her burrow watching history without intervening. Wielding the Rabbit Miraculous must take a considerable amount of willpower, as Bunnix knew the identity of Monarch long before Ladybug but couldn't say anything. If she were to give in to her desire to save her friends or warn them of incoming danger, she would risk changing the timeline altogether. The Rabbit Miraculous almost compels its wielder to go against their human nature and ignore their instincts. They have the loneliest job, considering all Alex has to keep her company is other versions of herself. It might be kinder for the Guardians if they chose to retire the Rabbit Miraculous, not only because of the burden of wielding its power, but to prevent the temptation of abusing it.
Clockwise!
Number 6. The Rooster Miraculous. While the Butterfly Miraculous can temporarily grant someone else powers, the Rooster Miraculous allows its wielder to give themselves any skill or ability they want, so long as it doesn't belong to another Kwami. For example, Rooster Bold can't give himself the power to destroy things, as that already belongs to the Cat Miraculous. However, he might give himself the skill of demolition, which could work as a loophole. We've only witnessed the Rooster Miraculous at work a few times in the series, but it has the potential to do considerable damage if its wielder chooses to misuse the power. In Gabriel's case, he tried to use the Rooster Miraculous to access time travel, but this didn't work due to the existence of the Rabbit Miraculous. However, in Miraculous World Paris, he discovers that he can travel to other dimensions with the Rooster Miraculous, which he does in search of easier ways to take the Ladybug and Cat Miraculouses. The ability to transcend dimensions is not something anyone should have. For that reason alone, the Rooster Miraculous shouldn't be in circulation. Technically, the Butterfly Miraculous can also allow someone to dimension hop, but as we've already discussed, it's earned its retirement alongside some of its fellow equally overpowered Miraculouses.
Sublimation. The power of pretension allows me to choose a super ability.
There's no denying that Miraculous Ladybug is made possible because of the Miraculouses and their powers. Without them, we would never have met our beloved heroes like Ladybug and Cat Noir, and we'd be without one of the most acclaimed animated series to date. It's sad to imagine the Miraculouses never finding another wielder. Still, it may be the best so that some will never see their powers abused again, because the Kwamis have only wanted to help humanity, never harm them.
Let's say I gotta stand ready to jump back into time and try something else, in case you fail. Mwah!
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications to stay updated on our uploads.
So this was a Miraculous? In camouflage mode.